Hey, this is Javen. I want you to get excited about this week's podcast. There's going to be a special word just for you to help you and challenge you in what you're going through. Get ready. It's time for you to start living your best life now, and it starts right now. What's up, good people? Another rendition of Do It Now, Why Wait? I keep saying why wait when you're best now. That's the title of the book. The title of the podcast is Do It Now. I'm your host, Javen. I feel like this is going to be a very interesting podcast.
I'm just here. I don't know.
The fact that you're stuttering tells me I want to turn myself. How can you turn me up a little bit? I want to hear myself a little bit more. Anyways, what's up, y'all? Y'all doing good? We decided we wanted to do a podcast on all things now. And right now we are in the holiday season and we're excited to celebrate Christmas with you and with your family. And what's crazy is I still don't really have real plans for Christmas. You got plans?
Not really. No, we don't.
And y'all got small kids.
Well, the thing is, and sometimes when you in South Florida, you forget that it's Christmas. Exactly. It rolls up on you quick because it doesn't get cold.
Yeah, it don't get nothing.
And so before you know it, it's like Christmas Day and it's like 80 degrees.
It's like hurricane day. Christmas Day. If you live in Florida, you get a hurricane.
And so you forget.
Just try to keep your shutters on your windows, try to make sure you stay. They ain't got time for no tree.
That's it.
It's interesting. Well, we want you to know that no matter what, hey, first off, make sure you subscribe to our channels, wherever you're listening to, whether you're listening on Spotify or YouTube. Everything is at Javen Online. Instagram Live, yep. Anywhere. And chat with us. Let us know how you're feeling, questions you may have. Maybe we'll include it on our next podcast and try to get some questions answered for you. The purpose of this is to really just kind of talk through life, talk through issues. And I find this podcast to be very helpful in multiple ways in different areas of people's lives, yeah. From finances to relationships to, I thought it was dope. We had Tina Cockin.
Yeah.
She was the marriage relationship guru lady and
came in a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Talked about how her husband had an affair, but God used it to bring their marriage stronger.
I tell you,
crazy,
we're in such an interesting season right now in between what's going on in the world, what's going on in the church, what's going on with politics, the holiday season. I mean, you name it. It's just it's so much going on right now. Post pandemic, with COVID, people trying to get back to some sort of normalcy.
I feel like it's a lot of tension.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because we're getting to see everything online with the fights. You ever do that when you scroll on, you open your Twitter or TikTok or whatever, and they show them fights? People are fighting.
You know the thing I found interesting when you're looking at social media, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, the algorithms can guide you down a path.
Wow!
And you don't even realize how you got there.
Are you trying to say that I'm getting algorithms of fighting because I'm
no.
I'm
not
prone to fighting?
No, but if you watch one video, it'll take you down a trail. And before you know it, you'll be thinking about this stuff. Like, why am I getting all this stuff?
Now listen to me. Nope.
Which one you want?
This is the one. You bring up a very good point because they say what you focus on is what becomes strongest in your life.
And so what the algorithms will do, they'll see you click on the video, you'll watch it, and if you watch the whole video, they say, oh, he must like this.
First wisdom key for today.
And so before you know it, it'll take you down a rabbit trail and you'll be like, why am I even thinking about this stuff?
Yeah. So it's like you got to watch your intake, watch what you are watching, because it does affect the algorithm. Even the algorithm understands that, but even on a very serious note, it does affect your spiritual walk. It does affect your psyche, your psychology. It affects your stress levels. It affects all those things. And in the end, it does either make or break whatever season that you're in.
So talk to me about that. That kind of leads me right into what I wanted to.
Oh, that was a setup.
That was a setup. It led me right into where I wanted to take this. So
I see what you're doing today.
When we're talking about.
Did you even tell people your name? This is Charlie, by the way.
Charlie Robinson.
Well, what you going by? You said the other day you were thinking about changing your name.
I was thinking about changing my name, but that's a whole another podcast. I don't know. Something cool. I don't know. But Charlie Robinson's just not the coolest sounding name in the world. But I rock with it. I could say
a whole
lot,
lot, but I'm not. Go ahead.
I'll rock with it for now.
All right, so what's your question?
Charlie Robinson, Pastor Charlie at the Now Church, Do It Now podcast host for today.
Yo. At least you got the right button.
So as we're in this holiday season, on a serious note, one of the things that I really want to talk about and get your opinion on is do it now. You're always talking about now, like do it now. Just the importance of getting it done now. How do people deal with depression, loss of loved ones, especially in this time of season?
Yeah.
Because people get anxious, they get depressed, they get, just feeling alone, feeling like, and then we already talked about it in Florida. Nobody's going to be sympathetic because half of us don't even realize it's the holiday season because it's nice outside all the time.
Yo,
right? How do you deal with that?
Before I answer your question, I will tell you this. I just had to do some taping in Chicago. And I don't know where you're watching this at, but I'm just telling y'all, man, Chicago is another level in winter, man. I'm just telling you, I don't know that God, I'm not going to blame it on God. I don't know. Something is just, it's just, listen to me. It was so cold in Chicago. It was as if, I don't know how you grew up, but I grew up back in the day where you got whippings. Did you grow up with whippings?
I got my fair share of those.
Did you get whippings like with a belt? Like I got a whipping with a belt.
The closest thing that you could grab. So whatever was close, whether it was a belt, a wooden spoon, a shoe.
Hey, don't judge our parents. It just, they were a product of their environment.
Whatever was closest at that moment that could inflict the most pain, that's what I got hit with. And then if you move, it was your fault. You got hit in the head.
Yeah, don't run.
You shouldn't have moved.
Yeah, don't run. If you ran, it was a worse whooping. I'll tell you
because
that.
then if they had to catch you, it was bad.
Oh, yeah. My sister one time, I'm talking about my little sister, man, one time, she did something that was wrong, and she was small. And she ran around she made my dad, she ran around the house at least 2 times. And we're all, because there's 13 of us. So you got one little kid running around the house. And we didn't know where she was running from. And she's like terrified. And we got all mad. We was like, who bothered our little sister? And then by that time, we see dad come walking around with a bell.
She should have talked to me. I knew I wasn't around, but I would have told her, don't run, because my mom would just say, I know where you're going to be sleeping. Right. I just wait till you go to sleep.
We're like, don't run. And she just kept on running. My dad just walking regular. Buddy, by the time he caught her, man, he picked her up. Anyways, that's how I felt in Chicago. When I walked out of the hotel.
Thought you was getting a whooping? It was so cold, it took you back.
It was like, oh. I was with Todd.
Your face hurt, your back hurt, everything hurt, right? Who was hitting me?
I was with Todd Delaney, man. He was even, we're both like doing like
that's
this.
Like that movie where the guy said, which one of y'all just kicked me?
What movie was that?
I think that was Rush Hour. Rush Hour, you walk outside.
Yeah.
And the wind hit you in the face. Like, I know somebody just hit me.
I was like, nah, man, this is not a God, bro. I mean, just to get from the hotel to the car, it was brutal. So anyways, let me get back to the question. I think that what happens with one of the revelations of now is the ideology or the idea that whatever you have been through or have experienced, that was for them, and that is not yours. And so I'm going to say something that I don't know that I've ever broken down this way before. You don't get to keep your experiences. That's a gift.
Wow, say that again.
Yeah. You don't get to keep your experiences. So when you have an experience, we just had a great day. And this week, we've just seen so many great things at the Now Church and the Now Center. Just a lot going on. This church just stays really, really, really busy.
Yeah.
Even the cop that was talking to the police officer outside, he was like, "Yo, man, y'all doing a lot. Y'all do a lot." And I said, "Yeah, well, that's the only way to do it. Is to create these opportunities for experiences for us to have while we're on this side of heaven, and to just watch our kids. They just had their little Christmas play and whatnot, and." Every time somebody sung or every time somebody danced, man, I jumped on my feet, gave them a standing ovation, right? Because this is an experience that they are having. And I, as the at least as a pastor, as an adult, as a responsible person in the room, want to make sure that that kid understands how dope of an experience in a moment that they're having. And I will not allow, what's coming up next or whatever else we got to do with the church and whatnot, rob them of that experience, because even though they don't know it, they're not going to be able to keep that moment. That moment comes and then it's gone. They tend to think that they get to pick and choose, how long, your loved ones are going to be with you.
Yeah.
How long you're going to be able to have, all your health and all your strength. We don't get to determine that. You really don't. And you don't get no license on that. You don't get no ownership on that. You just have to experience that, and then you have to move on to the next experience.
So I would imagine, because I've never heard you say that, and I would imagine that that's why it's so important to live in your now, is because once you understand that you don't get to keep your experiences, it really makes you appreciate those experiences even that much more when you're in that moment. Because when it's gone, and it's nothing you could do about it. Tiffany posted something. She said it's nothing like missing somebody that you know is in heaven. Like, you can't call them. When you were talking today, you said something about how you can't call dad.
Yeah,
I can't call my mom, but I could call Jesus, right? And it's like, as we live this life, this physical life, as we experience this life, to recognize that you don't get to keep that.
Yeah.
Why is that so challenging for people as they walk through their now season, especially in the holiday times? I mean, it seems like the holidays is when it really gets people.
Well, because nobody tells you that. Nobody teaches you. This is why, to be honest with you, this is why I was talking to the cop again. He was talking, going through the journey of the church, how we became and all that.
Because he's seen it from the very beginning.
Right. And he's like, wow, look at God. And we're celebrating 10 years next month. But I was telling him how that this is not just a church, this is a revelation.
Yeah.
And there is a need for Now Church. It really is. There's a need for Now Church. I would dare say there's a need for Now Church in just about every region, to be honest with you, because somebody has to come in and say, hey, listen, let me tell you what other people are not going to tell you. And let me tell you what most people don't recognize. And that is this: life is just one big experience, and that's it. And you don't get to determine when, how, or where it's going to take place. You can only do the best you can with whatever you're connected to, and then maximize whatever is in front of you, and then appreciate that, whatever that is. And sometimes what is in front of you, you ready? A bunch of bills.
Yeah.
Sometimes what's in front of you is a terrible doctor's report. Sometimes what is in front of you is a whole bunch of stuff going on. And you can either look at that situation and go, man, this stuff is running me crazy. Or, oh my God, my life is over because I got an unexpected bill. Or, this is, life is over because I got a bad doctor's report. Or you could say, let me see how I can make this experience the best experience I can. What is the best way to challenge or deal with this? And you say, well, how do you deal with the bad doctor's report? I'll tell you how. You learn how to get healthy. You start doing the research, and you start learning things that you didn't know before. And you start learning, picking up on stuff. I've saved people's lives from cancer because of the experiences I've had with my other family members that have had cancer, and going through that with them and being able to take that experience and learn from that. And now when I see somebody with a weird spot on their hand or something like that, talk to the men about checking their PSAs and getting colonoscopies, even if you don't want it, it's uncomfortable, taking care of business. We lost our brother, the great Black Panther young man that, would have been here today. Chadwick had somebody said to him, man, don't do the universal thing of waiting till you're 50 and all that. Black men are different. You better, or if there's something in your bloodline with your family, start at 35, start at 25, something like that. You never know. Things could change. So there's a way to take your now and make it extraordinary, no matter what it looks like. But more importantly, it is crucial. It is very crucial that you really don't let the media or the advertisers or the marketers determine who you are.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to what Oprah said. Somebody asked Oprah one time, what was the one thing, if you could give one key for how to become very successful, very wealthy, or whatever the case may be. She said, the one thing I would tell you is that the reason why most people don't reach real success is because they don't know what they want.
Yeah.
And she said, you got to know what you want first and foremost, and then don't waver from that. And I think what happens to many of us is we don't know what we want. So the TV commercials are able to tell us, you know, what kind of Christmas we're supposed to have.
Yeah.
The marketers are able to tell us what kind of family we're supposed to have. People that's single, people that's divorced, people that, you know, are widowed and whatnot. So now the movie theater the movies come on, and you got the two little cute couple and the little two dogs and the fence and all that. And if you ain't got that, you know, now you start thinking,
Start feeling some kind of way.
yeah,
Yeah.
don't let nobody tell you your life.
Yeah.
Ooh, I
One of
felt
the things
something on that.
you didn't talk about experiences as much. You didn't talk about that in your book. Is that another book that's coming?
You always try to do something.
It sounds like another book that's
You
coming.
always trying to get people
Don't it
work.
sound like another book that's coming? I think it's another book.
I'm
that's
tired
coming.
as I'm talking to you.
The now man is tired. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
tired. I'm tired of my now.
Now you know how we feel when you be telling us to do all that stuff. We don't tell you half the stuff we think about because we know you're gonna make us do it as soon as we say it. I be having some good ideas, but I don't tell you because I know you're gonna make me do it as soon as I tell you.
Exactly. Because there ain't nothing to do but what?
To do it, right?
Ain't nothing to do.
I want to see the book on now experiences coming. That's something.
Yeah.
Because when you think about the experiences and how life is just an experience and it's not your own, how many people could benefit from understanding how to live in your now, recognizing that it's not your experience. It's not your own. It's like you're just experiencing it.
It's like finding out that Santa Claus is not real. You know what I mean? Like it's like finding out that the tooth fairy, you know, doesn't exist. That it's just mom and them putting a dollar under your pillow and stuff like that. It is the reality of life. You know, it is about celebrating death as well as birth.
Yeah.
You know, we celebrate birth, but we're always shocked and disappointed and, you know, disconnected from the idea that we have to transition from this world, that we're not here permanently. Yet we see it happen all the time. Yet we know that there were tons and tons of celebrities, tons and tons of athletes and great men and women, Napoleon and all these people that have been gone for hundreds and thousands of years. These are all real. Harriet Tubman, these people all lived at some point in their journey and they're all gone. Yeah. But yet we're still shocked, you know, at the idea that somebody we know just transition, or that we one day will have to transition. I'm not saying we celebrate morbid and be morbid about life, but what I am saying is it's okay to embrace life. It's okay to embrace what life is. It's okay to understand that just like you would a movie or a roller coaster ride or whatever, you experience it. You experience the ups and downs. I would imagine if I don't like roller coaster rides.
I love them. I love them.
Yeah, I don't like. Something's wrong.
Was that not what I was supposed to say?
No, you said what you want to say.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I just know that certain people that like roller coaster rides, y'all mind work different than people that don't. I don't know what that is. I've never identified why certain people don't like it, but I would imagine. So I don't like roller coaster rides. That might be because of a childhood experience I had with my older sister. Put her on the spot at 7 years old, that told me Space Mountain at Disney World in Orlando, Florida was not scary. And
how old was you?
I was about 7.
Oh, okay.
7 or 8.
That's not that bad. Space Mountain not that bad. You should get on it now.
Yeah, no. And that's what happens when you have that experience.
You would get on it now and you'd be like, this is what I've been scared of all this time. This is absolutely nothing, right. Like the was that the Wizard of Oz? What do you say? Is this what
the guy behind the curtain?
Yeah, like you get on it now, you'd be like, I've been scared of this for 45 years.
I'm sure, but I won't do that. Why did you just give me more age? Why am I 62 now?
Let me ask you this. So we're talking about experiences.
Wait, I felt like I was making a point.
Okay,
here.
go ahead. I'm sorry. The roller coasters.
Yes. So I would imagine, you correct me if I'm wrong, because you ride roller coasters, I don't, and y'all can let me know in the chat room, but I would imagine that roller coasters are better when you roll with it. Is that right?
I mean, I understand. Let me hear. I want to hear more.
Maybe I'm not right. I don't ride roller coasters, but I'm just saying, like, if you just enjoy the ups and the downs with it and get into it,
oh yeah,
that you're fine.
Oh yeah,
I think
absolutely.
It's when you're trying to hold on and try to slow it down, or when you're looking for peace and it's going like this is where it gets agitating. Is that right?
It is. I like the thrill of it going up and down.
So you set your mind up for the experience.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because if it didn't go fast, if it didn't drop, whatnot,
it's
you'd be
not fun.
Yeah, you'd be like,
that's how Space Mountain is. It's not fun.
Now you preaching with me. See, this is what life is. Life is like, when things get crazy, when stuff get tight, go with it.
Yeah, if it's not exciting enough, it doesn't have enough big hills, enough big dips, you get off. I'm like, man, that was a waste of time.
And it's because you prepared your mind for the journey. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe I think sometimes we don't prepare our minds for our journey. We don't prepare our minds for our experience. I don't come to the church expecting to be served, right? I don't come to the church expecting to have everything rolled out. I come to the church expecting the sound to be off. No disrespect to us.
Well, if you come to the Now Church, you definitely go. Well, I shouldn't say that.
Don't do it. Every church, when the devil fell out of hell, he fell right into the sound system.
But he set up shop at the Now Church.
I'm not getting with you on that.
I'm just messing with you. I love the Now Church.
Exactly. You better apologize to our sound people. Y'all doing a good job. Anyways, but so I come expecting the challenge.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
But the thing
what I'm saying? I come ready.
But we've seen so much. And let's talk about that. Experiences. We expect the challenges. We've been in how many different locations in 10 years? We got 10 years coming up. We've been in how many different locations? Legitimately,
I would say seven or eight. So like a good, that's a lot. That's a church that should have failed a long time ago. Like seriously, we should have been out of business a long time. He laughing too hard.
You said too many, and he said, well, not that many. It is like 10 years, about 8. So we average about 14 months a place. So
make your point. What's the point? That's in the past anyway.
The reason I was bringing that up is,
but we balling now. What's up? What's up? Thank you.
10 years we about to
Pastor
celebrate.
got us through the wilderness.
10 years we about to celebrate. The year of the yes is coming, 2023.
Yes.
We're coming off of a crazy pandemic over the past 24 months. There's just been that a lot of churches did not make it through.
No.
What can you expect? What are you expecting for the Now Church? What is next year's experience?
That's a loaded question, Charlie. You coming in guns blazing.
I thought that's what you said.
I feel like you should calm down a little bit. That light just went out. Did it affect me? Did I get darker, y'all? No, but let me say so. All right, let me say this before, and then let me go back to this question. That's a loaded question, by the way.
That's what you wanted. Must see TV.
No, must see. First off, this is not even TV. So, no. Listen, what I want to say is, when I was watching the little kids, your small kids were in that production.
They did good, didn't they?
They did great. His son is my godson, so he always does great, far as I'm concerned. He was in my green room eating gummies, and I was ready for him.
I'm going to tell you a little story real quick. Don't forget what you said. There was something going on in the church, and it said no kids allowed. Said no kids allowed. They're not allowed to be there. Funny. Maxon said, well, I'm going to call Pastor Javen to see if I could go. We said, Maxon, no kids are allowed. He said, well, that doesn't apply to me. He said, Pastor Javen will let me in. The other kids, they got to figure it out.
Now, keep in mind, how old is Maxon?
7.
He's 7.
So this was like last year. He's like, I'm going to just call Pastor Javen. He going to let me in. I don't know about the other kids, but I'm going to get in.
Absolutely. No, when we were looking at them and doing their play, and my brother Carlton was sitting next to me, Pastor Carlton, he's associate pastor at here at Now Church. And he said, man, isn't this how, we all started, and he's nostalgia. He's going back to our days. And our parents were, we're first generation American. Both our parents are from the islands of the Bahamas. And, island parents just hit different. I don't know how to explain it. It's all that Southern Caribbean, all that Puerto Rican, Cuban, anything down there, them all the same. They all the same people. Them parents don't play. You gonna get knocked upside your head. They don't take no, you know what I mean? Like, you are seen and not heard. Anyways, when we were just laughing, it became very comedic, because we were talking about how that, like, if you didn't get your speech right, and if you didn't know your part, man, you was gonna hear it. Your mom was gonna tear that butt up. And like, if somebody did better than you, man, they got mad at you. Like, you could have you should have remembered your part. You saw so and so, and we was laughing because it was like tough love, right? Yeah. But then he said to me, man, that's what caused us. That's why you're able to wing it today as a pastor, when the sound ain't right or when the lights don't come on or when something's late, he's like, you could just get up there and just stall or whatever, because when you're knee high to a grasshopper, you're put into the fire to learn how to make things happen, even while you're nervous, even while you're scared, even when you don't know what's going to happen. So I said all that to say this, go back to your question. I believe the year of the yes is a year of explosive opportunity. I think we should really, if you are in tune with us, if you're in tune with this now message, if you're getting on board with the now revelation, I'm telling you right now, 23 is the year of opportunity. It's a year of absolute doors opening, gates swinging open, and you're talking about the opportunity of a lifetime to do multiple things all at one time. And so I'm anticipating this ideology that we just talked about with the roller coaster, that it's like, get ready for what we call pivoting. Get ready to move here, and then it's going to be a quick pivot there. And then it's going to be a quick pivot there. And all of it, I believe, is going to sync all at the same time. And I want to say something here. And this is not the best news, but it's the real news and it's the truth. And that is, you may not feel well even as you're doing well. And you may not feel good even as you're doing good. But if you'll remember this podcast and what I'm telling you right now, you'll be fine. That no matter even how it may feel and how it may seem, as a matter of fact, I don't want to be one of them people to say the devil, look for the devil under every rock. But it wouldn't surprise me if you found yourself even more challenged personally because of all the things you're getting ready to champion.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that I've seen in my personal life, and I've even seen in your life, and as the ministry grows, when we really start making significant progress in the spiritual side of things, personally, things start going crazy.
Absolutely.
And we just got to.
And you hate to go there, but but somebody got to know what's going on. So, I don't like to give the devil credit for nothing, but you do need to understand that when you start going up, man, and when things are just about to explode, and when you've just conquered, you even need to be careful to even recognize your accomplishments. Yeah. Recognize, when you've completed something. And give recognition to it. I don't think you have to stay there long, but I do think you need to recognize that, because what that will do is that will fortify your next. Your now is your next. And so when you fortify what's going on now in your life and that accomplishment, then that gives you that strength or that booster to deal with that next level.
So when you're talking about 23 opportunities, the year of the yes, one of the things that you were just talking about that I truly believe is going to take place, because we have the in-person service, we have the online campus. I believe that from the books, I believe there's more authors that are going to come out.
Yeah.
I think there's other podcasts. Like I see a full podcast studio to where other people are paying us to use the podcast studio, right? I believe this is going to turn into its own ministry in itself.
Awesome.
A part of the online campus experience, right? Just understanding. So I'm really looking for the year of the yes to just do some amazing, extraordinary things. It's like, there's no way that was Javen and Charlie, or Pastor Javen and Pastor Charlie, whatever. That's got to be God.
Yeah.
That's got to be God.
Yeah.
Talk to me about, so when you get in that and you are going through those personal things, how do you just keep going? Because a lot of times people just want to stop. Sometimes it hits you so much where it's like, I'm scared. It's too much going on right now. Like, how do I keep going in that moment?
You could probably jump on this actually as well. I'm not an athlete, but I would imagine it's something similar to when you are a professional athlete or an athlete that the team is really relying upon, and say you have a sprained ankle.
That was me. They did rely on me a lot. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyways, let me talk to y'all. This is a truth podcast.
They rely on me a lot.
Yeah. Anyways,
I wasn't professional though.
Anyway, can I make my point, please?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So the thing is, I would imagine, that when you are in those situations and you feel that pain, or you get taken out of the game for a little while, you do what you got to do to get warmed back up, stretched back out, bandaged back up, or whatever. But the whole goal and the whole motive is to get back in the game. Now I don't, and you could talk about this a little bit. I don't know what that is that's within an athlete. Maybe for some it's the money to make sure they get paid. For others, it's the love of the game. Others is, I would imagine, it's the championship and being almost there and just making sure I know if I'm a part of the actual play, that next play, I know I can get us. Like Jordan them, just put me back in no matter what. And I remember it was Kobe or somebody I remember that was out, the ankle or something was broken or something. I don't know if it's broken, but it was something. And I remember saying something where they were shooting, kind of barely putting weight on that bad ankle. Here's the thing. When you are on the come up of life, and when you are in something like what we're about to experience with the year of the yes, and you start winning and winning big, and you start seeing the championship within view, whether it's in the example of, multiple podcasts, multiple campuses for the church, increasing our staff and our reach for being able to do tutoring and after school programs, boys and girls clubs and things like that will offer more jobs to more community people and people at our church and whatnot. When you start going after these types of things and you feel injured or you feel like something might get you down, there's nothing to do but to wrap that wound up or bandage that ankle or that situation and then get back in the game. And that's what I would tell you. And the only reason why I would tell you that is not because I'm a pastor or a motivational speaker or author. I would tell you that because that's what I do. Yeah. That I'm not going to sit here and tell you I don't have moments of discouragement, that I don't have moments to where real tears roll out of my eyes. I'm not going to tell you where I have not sometimes put my face in a pillow and have yelled so loud to where if I didn't use the pillow, they would have probably called the cops thinking something was wrong. Oh, yeah, you definitely, when you are at certain levels of success and when you are responsible for certain levels of people that are relying on you and products that need your voice and your opinion, you definitely are going to be challenged in some of the greatest ways that you never thought imaginable. But the good news about that is that you can endure, you can take what it is you're going through. And endurance is different from pain in the sense that endurance is the ability to enjoy or to be able to be a part of pain, and pain is able to be a part of your life. There is a whole nother level when you learn the art of endurance. Yeah. Many of us just know how to experience pain, and then we try to mask it. And this is where addiction and drugs and alcoholism and all types of other things come into play. But when you learn the art or the maturity of endurance, you welcome that resistance. You welcome that challenge. You say that this is a part of what's going to make me, when I get back in this game, when I get healed from this, when this is over, I'm going to be so ridiculously, if you have ever had foreclosure, like if you ever had bankruptcy, like if you've ever been homeless, like if you've ever lived in a hotel room for weeks, if you've ever walked away from it all and just, trust God with everything, like that kind of stuff gives you like this ridiculous adrenaline that makes you so strong that literally there's nothing you personally cannot do. Yeah. There's nothing personally that you cannot face. And I got into a season, not a season, I went through a little moment where I started losing my confidence because of X, Y, and Z. And I don't know how that snuck in. And that's something that you need to know. Bad thoughts can sneak into good minds. Yeah, I mean, like the best of us can, if we're not careful, if every window and door is not closed, somehow doubt and stuff like that. And I got into like a little moment where I was starting to lose my confidence. Like I have ridiculous confidence. Like you got to be ridiculously confident, arrogant, or straight stupid to come to Florida in this area. Talk about you going to launch a church that is contemporary and different and black and white, and everybody going to be here and you dress how you want to. And want this old traditional, Southern Bible Belt. You got to be crazy to do something like that, or you got to be ridiculously confident, and I can go, we don't have the time. We got to wrap up soon. But I can go down the list of all these ridiculous things that I did, man, that kind of said, yo, this dude is ridiculous. But I began to lose that, Charlie. I began to lose that. And I began to think I don't have it no more. And the things that were in front of me, I can't do. Maybe we can't do it. Maybe it's not possible. And it was at that moment that I just stopped because I knew it was the wrong thought pattern. And somebody's going to have to do that right now. You got to stop them wrong thought patterns. You got to just stop it. You don't got to answer it. You ain't got to change it. You got to stop it. And I just stopped it and I prayed. And God shifted that thing in my mind.
But you know what? Something you said earlier that I have to go back to that just is ringing loud in my mind. And I think this is like one of those life-changing moments for me when you said this. Experiences, they're not ours. And so what we tend to do, and I've been guilty of this myself, we tend to make the experience ours, and we say, I am this or I am that, not recognizing that that's just an experience that as you're passing through this thing we call life. That's just part of the journey. You're not this, you're not that. That's just one of the experiences that you're experiencing on this thing called life. And so what we do is we get caught up in it. We go high, we go low with it, and we don't enjoy the ride because we think, oh, we own the top. We think we did something to get to the top. Yeah. And then we think we did something to get to the bottom. Yeah. And then we think we did something and we don't own none of it.
None of it. You probably don't have. To be honest with you, you're probably not responsible for 70%, I would say, of the things happening in your life. Probably be higher than that. Yeah. You don't get to pick and choose. I mean, everybody want to be rich. Well, most of us do, right? You don't get to pick and choose the family you're born into. Like, you're just born into that family. You don't get to choose your skin color. You don't get to choose your hair grade or any of that kind of stuff. All that stuff is chosen for you. You don't even get to pick, a lot of times, your IQ. Yeah. You know, a lot of these things are your height, your athletic ability, the lack thereof, all those things are kind of predestined for you. And so you would think we would get a clue from there. So again, what is the idea? So what do I do with being short? What do I do with being tall? What do I do with being athletic? What do I do with being, artistic, not artistic, but being able to do the arts or whatever? You embrace that. You know, you celebrate that. I think we get in trouble when we try to be other people, when we try to be something that we're not. Even worse, when we try to get people to be something that they're not. Yeah. You got to let people be who they are. You got to be who you are. And then you've just got to sell into your now and watch extraordinary things happen. How much time we got? I feel like this is all our time. Yeah, I feel like we're going a long time. We're talking to y'all for a long time. We just had a lot to say, I guess.
I mean, well, it was a great episode. I really enjoyed talking about experiences. Well, I wasn't going to say that, but... The people seem to love it. They clapping for us.
We out of here. We love y'all. Keep subscribing.
Come to the Now Church if you're in South Florida. Come check. Hey, 2023, the year of the yes. Come check us out. Come check us out. We love you so much. Thank you.
Hey, folks, thank you for joining our Do It Now podcast. I hope what was said today helped you, challenged you, and caused you to live your best life right now. Do me a huge favor. If you enjoyed today's podcast, I want you to share and like and subscribe to our channel. We want to share this message of now with every and anybody we can possibly get it to, and you can help us do that. Would you do it for me? And don't forget to live your best life now. We'll see you next time.